Okay, I'm working on my 2008 Mazda 6 with the 4-cylinder in it here today. Going to be replacing this passenger side engine mount, and this is the new mount here. And this is a hydraulic mount, so I guess it has some kind of fluid in here, and I guess it not only gets damaged, but the fluid leaks out over time. So we're going to go ahead and I'll let you hear what this sounds like a little bit. Okay, and here's the vibration we're getting on takeoff. If you can hear this. So it's mainly on takeoff. Here we are again. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do to get started here is get us a jack underneath here. We'll need a piece of wood or something to protect your oil pan and just position it somewhere kind of in the center there over here on the passenger side. And for now we're just going to go ahead and just kind of pump it up a little bit and just support it. Okay, so I've got the engine supported here now, and we've got our parking brake on and the wheels chocked. Okay, I'm coming over here. The first thing I'm going to get is this 8mm ground wire that runs over here. I'm just going to take it loose right here. Now we can just pull that out of the way there. And I think I'm going to go ahead, we'll just get on this top bolt right here. Okay, and this is an 18mm bolt, by the way. Okay, and there's that bolt. We'll just set that out of the way. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get on these. These are 18mm as well. Now, the whole stud may be seized and come out of there. If it does, that's okay. But we're going to go ahead and get a hold of these now with our extension, and we'll just get those loose. Okay, so I'm just taking this last one off here. So now we may have to jack this engine up a little bit more. Looks like it's in a little bit of a bind here, but then we'll be able just to lift this up and off of here. Okay, and there we go. We've just lifted that engine up a little bit. And now you can see the mount under here, and you can see the reason for the vibration. You really can't see this thing until you get this top cover off, so you may look at it and think that it's okay, but see, this is completely busted. There's probably no fluid left in here or anything. So the next thing we're going to do, we've got a difficult bolt right here to get to on this left side here. We're going to go ahead and get that first. I believe that's a 15mm. Okay, and this is a 15mm nut here, and we're just getting this completely loose here. And there's that little 15mm nut removed. Okay, and then down here in the front we also have a 15mm. We're going to go ahead and remove that now. Okay, so we're just working that loose, and you may find it easier to use a magnet to kind of fish these out of here. Okay, and there's that front bolt. Okay, now we just got to get on this one down here on the back side. You can see it right down there. It is kind of buried in some grease and grime, but there it is right there, and that's a 15mm as well. So we're just going to get down there with the extension and get that one out. Okay, and there's that final rear bolt out of the back there. Okay, and now with those three or the two bolts and the nut, we should be able to just lift this out of here. I know we've got some lines here, but we should be able just to twist it and work it around here and slip it out. And I wound up twisting it kind of in this direction right here, just to give you an idea, but it will fit out of here without having to move anything. And it's ready to lift up and out of here now. Okay, now we can just do a quick comparison here, and you can see how it's supposed to look versus how it looks over here. And not only all this is busted, but this is actually sticking up slightly higher as well, so that can be affecting some stuff. But other than that, they look pretty identical, except for the fact that this one's all messed up. So now we're just going to go ahead and work this back into the car the same way we took it out. Okay, so I'm going to just start with it like that and just kind of give it a little push, and we should be able to work it back in there the same way that we took it out. And there we are. And we'll just check that our holes are lining up there. So now we're just going to go ahead and work our bolts back in. We'll probably use my magnet to keep from dropping it. As we're just getting this down in here with my magnet, get it started a little bit. Okay, and same thing with the back one. I'm just going to work it down in here with my magnet and just kind of slightly give it a little twist and get it started, or I can pull my magnet off. Okay, and I've kind of left those loose. I'm going to go ahead and put this 15mm nut right back up here where these lines are and get that started a little bit. And then we'll just come back here and start snugging these down. I'm just going to be getting them really tight. I'm not going to be using any torque specs on this. Okay, so I'm just going through with my extension here and tightening these down really good. Like I said, it's a good idea to leave them all loose until you make sure that you got them lined up good. So I'm just going to get these really tight. Okay, so now with those three tightened, we're ready to go ahead and put our cap back on here. And we may have to take our jack and move this engine a little bit. You can see it's like way out of alignment here, so we're going to have to move this engine. You can tug on this thing by hand a little bit and get it to move quite a bit. You can see I got it to move just by pulling on it that much, but we'll need to go ahead and move this engine to get our bolt in there started nice and straight. Okay, so I've just started that bolt, and I'm going to have to lift this engine up more to get it up here where it's supposed to be on these studs. And a lot of that is because the old mount was compressed and all busted, so the engine was just setting down so much more than it should have been. Okay, and so as I was lifting this up, I just pulled the engine and gave it a little jiggle, and I was able to get this center just to go ahead and just line right up. And then these are sitting, you can see that it's sitting down nice and flat on here. So all I did, raise it up a little bit with my jack, just kind of wiggle it a little bit, and it worked itself right on there. So I think what we'll do, go ahead and we've got this bolt in, 18mm, we get our nuts, and go ahead and put them on here. Okay, so here's our 18mm nuts. We're going to go ahead and just start snugging them down onto here, and then we'll work on snugging our bolt our big 18mm bolt in, and we'll just kind of, like I did on the others, we'll just kind of leave these snug down but sort of loose till we get the main bolt there into alignment, and then we'll tighten them all at once. Okay, so now I just got my 18mm and I've just snugged this all the way down, and I'm just giving these the final snug, these other 18mm. Okay, so now we don't want to forget our ground. I'm going to put that back on here, and we got this little 8mm bolt. And I'm just going to get that tightened back down here. Okay, so that's all there is to that. We're all finished up, and you can see the difference and how much higher it's setting up already here, and nothing left to do but just go ahead and get our jack out from underneath the engine, and we'll go ahead and test this thing out. Okay, so here we are in the car after we've replaced this mount, and you'll notice no noise. Okay, so here we are again. Thus, all that vibration has stopped. Okay, so that's going to conclude this video. I hope that you could hear the difference from the before and after. I know it's one thing to hear it in person versus hearing it on the video, but I can tell you a major difference there. And of course, you've seen the mount and what it looked like. So anyways, if you found it helpful, give it a like. As always, I invite you to subscribe, and I thank y'all for watching.